Well, hey everybody! It's just a quick surprise for today. I'm not even sure which mic I'm on. Let me see here. We got some audio. Yeah, just trying to see what everybody's up to. I haven't been doing lives lately. I've been super busy. So yeah, let me get a couple things set up here. I'll probably have to come back and edit this out later, but that's all good. What's going on there? Sorry, I'm typing something in. Oh, who is it? Who is it? This chat's always stupid. All right, I see some people trickling in. So, hello, hello. I just thought I'd come in and see how everybody's doing. I haven't been um, doing lives lately, so it's good to see people are there. It's been a busy spring. We've been planting a lot. We've finally got some rain, so that's good. We picked up roughly about 6 inches um, in 3 days. So we got a lot of rain real fast. I don't know how much of it got into the soil, but we'll see. So I just wanted to come on here and just chat with people. If you got any questions about gardening, go ahead. I got a few minutes before I have to go back out. So I figured I would take a few minutes and see what the room is doing, the subscribers. So um, I didn't really have a plan. I literally just said, I think I'm going to go live. So here I am. So I see there are some people here. So say hey in the chat so we can see you. We're talking to. Or not. Doesn't matter to me. We can sit here and look at each other. But I harvested my rutabaga. I got a bed of rutabagas that came out. And in that bed, if you've been watching the videos, you know, sitting there, I put on that back trellis. Hey Tina, how you doing? I put on that back trellis Seminole pumpkins and butternut squash. So we'll see if the trellis collapses. We're going to do a weight test on it. And then in the back bed by the greenhouse, I just added in, I seeded watermelons, cantaloupes, and cucumbers. So I've still got to replace that trellis, but I've got some time since I just planted them. As soon as those cucumbers come up out of the ground, I'll put the trellis back up. But and then other than that, as far as planting goes, my sweet potatoes need to go in next week, maybe even this week. I don't know. It depends how much. I'm gonna let everything dry out a little bit. And then on the front arch, I will put in about a week or two, maybe. I will end up putting in black eyed peas. Really love growing black eyed peas. They do great in the heat. Considering we're going to be 91 this weekend, I would say it's probably time to plant them. So I see there's some people in here. First of all, can you hear me? Well, hey, Wilbur, I know exactly where that is. I'm from coastal North Carolina, south of you. I hope you guys can hear me. I've readjusted some things since the last time I did a live. But what else is going on? What's going on in y'all's gardens? Let us know. Perfect. Thank you, Tina. Y'all planting anything, harvesting, anything like that? All right. What's a double cup? I'll bite. So, Wilbur, do you plant peanuts in your area? Oh, what are you planting, Tina? And Wilbur, what kind of peas did you harvest? I'm growing snow peas right now. It's pretty late, but we got them, and we didn't have any rain all spring until the past couple days, so it's been nice. Um, yeah, they grow a lot of peanuts up your way. You might want to try it. I've tried it one year. I didn't like it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of made a mistake, and so I didn't like it because I did it wrong. But when it came down to it, I just didn't think that the space was really worth what I was going to get. So that's why I didn't do peanuts. Did you harvest them and shell them, or did you eat the shell and all? Because that's what we did. We used snow peas. I meant to grow shell and peas in the spring, and just didn't get them in the ground. So we'll try in the fall. But I think next spring I'm going to focus on shell and peas instead of snow peas. I think that's what I want to do. Oh, you got a green stalk. Congratulations. Congratulations. I planted my corn last week, Tina, and it just started coming up. So that works out pretty good. I planted it on the outside rows, and then in the middle of the bed, I'm going to put buckwheat when it gets about knee high. Okay, Wilbur, so you probably did not grow shell peas. If you grew snow peas and you shelled them, you wouldn't eat them. They taste terrible. Um, Snow peas, you eat the pod and all. Traditionally, that's what I grow, but I want to get into shelling peas. It's just every year it kind of slips my mind. So I'm going to make a point to get them and grow them next year. I got to find the right pea though. I got to find exactly what I want. And I don't know what I want. So Tina, you're not putting the corn in your green stock, are you? Anybody else in the chat too? Feel free to jump in. I literally just came on to say, hey, that was it. I didn't have anything to say. So y'all are going to drive the conversation. So feel free to ask. I got a few minutes. So, hey, Tanya, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. So watermelons. I planted Crimson Sweet. I was going to go with a bigger watermelon this year, but I kind of just fell back into the smaller ones for the area. So, oh, that's awesome that you got enough to can. I hope it turned out good. Did you? How many quarts or pints or whatever? How many jars did you get? Hey, Laura, Tanya, and Laura, you guys plant? Are you ladies planting in your garden? That's good, Tina. Yeah, I don't think corn would work very good in a green stock. It would be kind of cool if you planted corn all the way around it, though. It would be very interesting to see it grow. Probably fall over though. I've never used a green stock. I actually don't have much interest in it, but I see the appeal and I get it. How many of y'all use those metal beds? Like, what is it? Like Vigo Garden or whatever? 7 pints of peas, my man. Congratulations. That's a killer harvest. I bet your thumbs are tired of shelling all those. What kind of flowers did you plant, Tanya? And tomatoes and peppers, for that matter. Yeah, I was saying earlier we hadn't had any rain and we got 6 inches in the past couple of days, so everything's soggy. So I'm trying to stay out of the garden today and let everything kind of dry up a little bit. Has your weather been cold, Laura? Tina, what do you think about the metal beds? Are they, do you like them? Cold and hot? That's fun. Oh, you're in Michigan. Man, I bet you like cool season crops well in summer there. I mean, for us, it's like we're basically at this point, I have maybe 3 or 4 cabbages left out in my yard, and they need to come up like yesterday. So I don't know. Um, our season's really short. I can grow through the winter, as you've probably seen, but it's not the easiest to do either. So we're kind of in a weird spot. So y'all like the metal beds? I always worried they're going to get too hot. That's why I've never done it. Plus, I like the look of the wood. It's just, I don't know, it's more rustic, I guess you could say. I like to use the word rustic, but what it really means is natural and cheap, which you can get away with in the gardening world. Yeah. Hey, Peter. Yeah, Peter, it was just regular old pine. I use treated wood now, which most people scoff at, but they stopped using the chemical. It used to have arsenic in it, and they stopped using that about 20, 25 years ago. So that's why I use the treated wood now. And they've been in the ground 4 or 5 years now. My first replacements were. So, and I did those originally. I did treated wood before, and then I got second guessing, and then I talked to somebody about the wood and kind of did a little research and saw the change, like how they changed it. But yeah, so it was just regular old pines what I used, and it took about a year for it to completely. I did run it for another 2 to 3 years, but if you touched it, it would crumble. So it was in really bad shape. Yeah, Nicole, you're gonna have steam greens out there if they get too hot. Yeah, Wilbur, we're really close to each other, and I don't use any kind of shade in the summer until I start to plant fall. That's when I start adding shade in. Hey, if it's working for you, Peter, go for it, man. That's what I say. And congratulations on your bees, sir. Did you do you have a mentor helping you out? And I feel like I'm yelling. If I'm yelling, let me know. Yeah, Nicola, in Arizona, that's a little bit different world. I was saying on the on our podcast, I have a lot of followers on YouTube that are in Arizona, so I enjoy watching and listening to how y'all combat the heat out there. It's interesting to see. Well, hey, Mike, thanks for stopping by, man. So, Peter, if you need a mentor, I can mentor you over the phone. I'm not driving up there, but if you ever have a question, man, feel free to call me. So, if anybody wants to know, we are the podcast is sponsored by Planter, and Peter is the creator of Planter. He is the genius behind the app that we live by in our garden. So, but yeah, if you need some help, man, I'll be more than happy to help you. Anytime. I'm already mentoring somebody, so I'm happy to mentor you too. And it's all about the same. The difference for you would be in the winter into and a little bit of the timing, but I lived up there, so I kind of understand it too. So maybe I can help. Well, you got your hands full, Tanya. Anybody else? What are y'all doing in your gardens? Like I said, I just came on here to say hello and see what everybody's doing. I had a few minutes. I'm about to go dig into my bees. Our honey flow, I believe, is starting to wind down. So I have to go check how much honey is in the hives, which is always fun. I planted a lot of marigolds in my garden, and around my pond we put in. A lot of people don't like marigolds, but I personally like them. They're easy to grow. They add a lot of color and texture, and I mean, you can't go wrong. And free seeds, at the end of the year, so we can keep them going. I'm looking into getting some different bushes and stuff to put out there, but man, that stuff is so expensive. There you go, Peter, man. It's like I said before. Um, Overcomplication is the thing. I think a lot of people want to overcomplicate things, and it makes it difficult. Yeah, Laura. So I just did a video today, and actually had to do the video with my bee veil on because all the rain, the bees all came out at once. But I was saying, I just gave a little bit of an update. So what I'm doing is I had started a channel last year for bees, and I couldn't keep up with two channels. So I'm mixing some of the older videos in. But what I'm doing now is I'm going to be in the process of that's what I'm doing today is I'm going out and I'm going to figure out two different hives. I'm going to find a healthy hive that I have, which is most of my hives, thankfully, for right now. And then I'm going to find one that's struggling, and I'm going to do a series on both of them on how to manage both of us, a healthy hive and a struggling hive, and how we can get them up and running. So that's what I'm going to do from here on out. So I've got a handful of videos that are coming out from last year. They'll be about I'm doing some DIY stuff about making like honey harvest. There'll be everybody wants to see the honey harvest, so I'm putting those on there as well. And I can't remember what else. There's like a handful of them. So I'll start intermixing in those other ones on top of that. And then once we start harvesting our honey here, we'll do videos about that as well. So yes, we are doing that as just spring is crazy here, trying to get everything planted and built, and it's a lot. And the pond took a lot of my time, which is good. We wanted it to. Um, Nicole, you're already getting jalapenos? Sounds like Nicole's garden is banging right now. TJ, I put my peppers out. I had to go out of town in April, and so I just went ahead and put my peppers in, and it got to 36 degrees, and they all did fine. I'm not telling you, but I know that New Hampshire is different, where your 36 can easily be 32, or your 40 can easily be 32, especially if you're in a valley or something like that. So I think when I lived in Plymouth, Massachusetts for a number of years. I believe I planted out right about now is when I would plant my peppers and stuff. So yeah, Nicole, you're the people, y'all in Arizona are the people we talk about on the podcast where it's so difficult because we grow plants in our gardens that aren't native to any of our areas, typically speaking. And there's certain sections of the United States, i.e., where that stuff really does work well. And it's hard to kind of factor that in when we're talking sometimes listening that have had jalapenos growing in eggplants and stuff for 3+ years gardens, which is insane and would be awesome. It is what it is. I've actually got one of the purple peppers we have in our seed shop. I didn't. Batavia had grown them, and she said she loved them. And every time I grow something purple, for the most part, it never turns out purple. Well, that billy goat sitting out there, there's a pepper on there that's just as purple as it can be. Yeah, I could see where the jalapenos would really push through the summer pretty good. But even here, it seems in the summertime they start to struggle until it cools off some. All right, there's 22 people in here. What else y'all got going on? Somebody else come on in here. TJ, what part of New Hampshire are you in? You don't have to answer if you don't want. And I'm also at some point going to take and do a video out at the bee farm we have up the road from me. Okay. TJ, are you anywhere near Salisbury? Jennifer, how did that work out for you? I live in coastal North Carolina. Yeah, when I first moved to New England, I lived in Salisbury. I remember I came from North Carolina. I went to Cape Cod, and I spent a month in Cape Cod doing a training, and it was like the hottest summer they'd had. And I was like, this is great. So then I moved to Salisbury to work, and the next summer it never got above 50 degrees. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I didn't know it could be that cool in the summertime. It was crazy. But I knew a guy up in Maine, and he would, I can't remember the island he lived on. There was like 200 people that lived on the island, and he said every year his garden would completely die by August because of all the fog and the moisture in the air and stuff. It wouldn't work out well at all. Well, that sounds good that you like that, Jennifer. Yeah, raised beds definitely make managing weeds a lot easier. That sucks for you, Barrett. Is it your ex-wife because they killed your garden? Aha. Well, hello, Seven Springs. I like seeing North Carolina people in here. Keep it real. I like everybody, though. Universal City. Never heard of it. Deborah, um, if you got a freeze and it hurt the tree, what I would do is I would go out there, and if there's any dead limbs, I would cut all the dead limbs off. And then what I like to do, I don't know how big your tree is, but however big you can, go to the trunk, your fingernail, right, and scratch the bark off. And if you see green, it's alive. But if you start and you don't see green and it's just brown, cut it, and then go down, cut it until you start to see that green. And then you can get something that's called, you can go online, and it's called cut paste, right? And some people will use like spray paint or something like a thick paint. But you get the cut paste, and wherever you make that cut, you cut it and you put that paste on there. And what it does is it seals that wound. And you can cut, I mean, it doesn't matter how much you cut off. But what'll happen is that plant will push all those nutrients up, and then it'll stop there, and then they'll come back down, and that tree will bush out. We do this all the time with our bonsai trees. I mean, that's how we grow them to get to where they are. And I do it with my peach trees and all that stuff. So now's a pretty good time to do it, because you said you're in Texas, so you're probably, it's kind of late, but you could still start trimming it down, because all of the nutrients are coming up from the roots right now, and the sap is readily flowing through that tree. So you can help that way. And you can use like cornstarch, stuff like that. Hey, Brian. Yeah, where are you at, little woman? Little women? I mean, really, in North Carolina, the farthest you can be from me is 6 hours. The thing about the cut paste, though, that's good, is it's got antiseptic in it, because when you cut, you can introduce bacteria in, and so it'll seal it off real good for that. So that's why we use it. And if you see it and it's got a bunch of Japanese written on it, it's okay, buy it. You can use a translator or whatever, but that's what we use. Half the stuff I have, I can't even read, but I've been using it for years. I actually need to buy another tube. I lost mine. Never heard of that barbecue rub, but maybe I'll have to check it out. Oh man, we always got to get a troll, don't we? Jennifer, I talked to a guy the other day who was trying to get me to use that clay. You know, the best thing you can do for a tree is just fertilize it, mulch it, and trim it. That's the best thing you can do. When you start putting other stuff in to the soil, you can quickly mess the pH up or something like that. So it's just a troll, man. We get them. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Gapped a tree. What do you mean gapped a tree? Well, then I must be doing something right. I don't know. I'm not into that racist shit, though, so they can get out of here with that. I don't know if I asked you, Jim, but what does gapped a tree mean? So what else y'all got going on in your gardens? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller? I saw somebody from Alabama I may have forgot to say hi to. Hey, Andy. Sorry, man. Oh, yeah. Um, you're talking about, shit. It's on the tip of my tongue. Somebody fill me in. Hey, Vicky. Vicky, you need to come to the meetings, the members meetings. I keep waiting to see you there. Grafting. Thank you, Nicole. Yes, I have done a lot of grafting, actually. Um, yeah. Are you getting the emails, Vicky? What about grafting though? Okay, good. Hey, Princess from Portland, Oregon. Is it hot out there right now? So, Brian, sorry, buddy. I got to do the same thing. It's freezing. That sucks. Oh, you're at a 3 hour time difference. That's tough. Okay. Well, we might have to make it. We might have to think of something. I might have to do a second one for like West Coast people or something like that. I didn't even think about that. I'm glad you said something. If you don't know what we're talking about, we have a members group where we do meetings once a month and we talk about different things in the gardens and we're doing some tests and stuff like that. So if you want to do that, you can become a member, hit the join button or whatever. Wouldn't your garden be way more efficient if you got inwards to take care of them? Man, come on, bro. Yeah, soft necks don't do well up north. I learned that the hard way. Um, hard necks do a lot better. It's the climate, and that's why people are getting like garlic scapes and stuff like that. You don't get those off of soft neck, so you'll probably end up getting mostly hard neck garlic harvest up there, TJ. Well, hey Nick, from the base of the mountains. Yeah, I want a welder too. Look, you got trolls. What can I say? It must be troll day. So I'm gonna ask, can y'all hear me? Because I had somebody saying they couldn't, so I have to ask. But I've never grown turmeric. I've been interested, but I be honest, I don't know how I'd want to eat it. Not enough to grow it. Thank you, Ian. I would probably mulch it. I don't know where you are, Jennifer, so that driving force. Well, there you go, Andy. Today's a good day. Got the mayo ready. You put salt and pepper on it. Thank y'all. The trolls just kill me. I just gotta ask. So okay. I forgot I can do. I haven't done the YouTube lives in a while. Let me do a poll. Why not? There you go. Bro. Is this better? Duke's mayo only. Well, you're from North Carolina, so that sounds right there. Sorry, I didn't know which mic I was coming from. Happy birthday, Bernie Gores. Let's do this. Funny thing is when you ban a troll, they just keep coming back with other stuff. Yeah, Tanya, it's a tomato sandwich is it's just like a staple. I don't eat them, so I guess I could answer. Hey, Cindy, maybe I should answer no. Can I answer? I can't answer. Island Healing. Do you have squash uh, on the plant yet? What is that, Jim? I don't even know what that is. Let me see if I can adjust this rig. All right, Carolina, thank you for that. I think I did it. Hopefully, you didn't get kicked out too bad. Ooh, man, this is brutal. Hellman's. So, Tanya, it's cheese. It's just tomato and mayo, and some people put pepper on it. At least here. All right. Sorry about all the trolls. I got to try and get caught up. Island Healing, did you answer about the if you're getting squash now, you will get your harvest because you're very close to me before you get the squash vine borer can kill your plants before they're done producing. So you should be okay. If not, it's going to be close. Ooh, bacon would be good. I might eat it. Well, that's basically a BLT. I'll eat that. Well, Brian, it sounds like you're offering to be a moderator. Yeah, then Island Healing, you should be okay. You're right on par with me. So the squash vine borer doesn't come to our area until about mid-June into July. So you should be all right. See, now in West, that's an adult grilled cheese, is what they call it at the restaurant, right? You got to pay extra for that. It's like I took my mom out for Mother's Day, and I don't know if you don't listen to the podcast or you don't talk about a lot on the show on the channel here, but I don't really do baby greens at all. It's just not my thing. And I absolutely don't like arugula. And I ordered a salad that was like all arugula. And I swear it was like I was eating weeds. I felt like I had just weeded the garden and I was eating it terrible. So, Cindy, well, Brian, that's who I want to be the moderator. um, I like Miracle Whip too, between me and you. Nobody else heard that. So, see, y'all be getting fancy. So the way I grew up watching people, because I don't enjoy them, but I grew up, it was white bread, the kind of shit that kills you, with mayo, a big chunk of tomato, and they would put pepper on it, and everybody loved it. I couldn't do it. What's Whack-A-Troll? That sounds fun. Yeah, in North Carolina, it's Duke's is like a religion. Duke's mayonnaise, it's pretty intense. And I will eat Duke's, but I won't do Hellman's. So I've got my first pepper out there that I need to get, which is really early, by the way, for the pepper. And then I've got a couple squashes that are coming now. So I don't know if you guys have been following for a while. Well, clearly you've been here for more than 20 minutes because that's now the rule to be in here. Um, my goal for the year was to have less of a harvest dearth throughout the year. And so far, we're doing pretty good. So I kind of started the clock in March, right? Um, so far, we're doing pretty good. We're getting snow peas. I've been pulling a hat full. I say a hat full because that's what I use of blueberries every other day. And then we got a pepper. I just pulled my rutabagas up. I got 3 cabbages left. So we're doing pretty good so far. The trick is going to be coming up into probably August is where things are going to get a little tricky for us. We'll see. And it also depends how we can get a hurricane and wipe out the whole garden. So that's another issue. So Nicole, did you eat the Dukes? Are you talking about fermented mayo, Brian? That might be a little tough. I don't know. I'd have to try. I couldn't just jump in and make it. You're not dumb, sleeves, and yes, you can pull your flowers. I typically pull my first set of flowers after I plant mine out. Anyways, I pull them off. So, Island Healing, did you plant yours earlier this year? Oh, it only has 5 ingredients. I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm not a huge mayo fan either, Nicole, but if I got to eat it, that's where I go. A few bits of snow laying around. I am so sorry to hear that. Well, hey, John, Eastern NC here too, my friend. Did you join more than 20 minutes ago? All right, Brian, I'll be checking my mail for some fermented mayo. I'm joking. You don't have to send me any. No doubt, man. Thanks, John. I try. I really do. I've been accused lately ever since my overcomplicated video being lazy. So, it is what it is. I got a lot of flack for that video, actually. A lot of flack. I'm trying to catch up on comments. I'm sorry if I'm sitting quiet. Y'all feel free to say whatever you want within reason, as we've seen earlier, which I don't even know what half those signs were. Oh, good deal. So you're a podcast listener too. So, Island, let me ask you this. Did you plant earlier because you watched this channel? I'm outside of Wilmington, John. I used to live in Wilmington and I can't live there anymore. It's too much. Too much. Yeah, John, I'm closer to you. I'm probably about 45 minutes south of you. Maybe an hour. Okay, I'm sorry. In West, I forgot what you're saying yes to. Let me go look. You might have to refresh my memory. I apologize. It's always fun having 20 conversations at once. It's like mental gymnastics. The I don't know how to say your name. The Geen, is that right? The garden's looking good. Hey, the rain's good for it. Okay, so the Geen, I have to ask, and I hope it's not offensive. Did you name that because of Ed Gein? So Carolina, Kind Family Homestead, John, Island Healing, we're all pretty close to each other, and Wilbur was too. This isn't an Eastern North Carolina party, everybody. Don't freak out. Oh, you did. That's awesome, the Geen. There's an Ed Gein series coming out next this year. I'm excited to see. But we won't get on to serial killers. That's not what this channel is about. Unless y'all want to. That's a dark path to go down. Yeah, John, I don't know how to tag either. I'm like the worst YouTube creator ever. I know just enough to get the job done. But I don't really want to know a whole lot more because it just focused too much on it. Yeah, squash vine borers are serial killers. That is Nick is preaching in the house today. Absolutely. So Island Healing, you didn't answer that I know of. Did you plant earlier because of my channel? And same with you, Wilbur. Actually, anybody, did anybody plant earlier because of what I talk about on this channel? I'm super curious to know. Yeah, Cindy, don't see. Look, I forget. Hit the like button. You don't have to hit the subscribe button because you're already here. Here, I'll do it too. There you go. Yeah, stink bugs are kind of tough, man. Well, Nick, I talk a lot about planting earlier, and I get a lot of people that say really nasty things about it, but it's hard to get started doing it. But once you do it and you see and you have to do it, you have to be educated when you do it. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to plant it in January. It's like you got to think about it. But once you do it, you start to see how it can change, and then your garden really starts to progress a lot faster. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's an absolutely hard pill to swallow. So I get it if you've heard me talk about it and you didn't do it. Like, I understand 110%. I just kind of fell into it and then adopted it, which most with people that do, they will adopt it too, and it will become the norm. But it's hard to do because we don't understand. I feel like the gardening industry has told us, I feel like, so if the plants are raised, this is going to go kind of weird, but just stick with me here. If the plants are raised in Connecticut and they're coming to North Carolina, we aren't told or taught that we can plant earlier because we are dependent on the stores bringing us plants that can't come from a more northern place earlier. Or even if you're, southern place, they may come to you too early. So once you start doing seeds and you start on your own timeline, that's when you can really unlock it. Well, John had a challenge. Well, good, Island Healing. I'm glad it worked for. I like this. I like to hear. Well, I also want to hear when it doesn't work for. Thank you, Wilbur. And see, that's what I'm talking about. Island Healing is we don't understand how fast our soil warms up. Even if you live up north, it's the same thing. It's just a different kind of plant, is what we're talking about here. Yeah, Nick, I can understand that completely. But you can do your brassicas and stuff like that. Um, and I'm going to continue talking about planting earlier because people need to know as the channel grows, and people that have heard it and didn't do it need to be reminded that it is absolutely possible. So I was going to say something else and it went away. That's why I stuttered. Good, Jason. I'm glad it's looking good. Well, thanks for showing up, Eddie. I haven't been doing lives lately. I just had the urge. It's been raining for a couple days and I can't get out in the garden. So I figured I would come on here. Um, I don't think I'm going to be scheduling lives because I don't want to be held to a schedule, but I am going to try to do more of these, just chatting, just to connect with you guys, outside of comments, because I can't run everything and answer all the comments. I'm sure you've noticed I'll probably come back like a week later or something. So I'm going to try and figure out a way to get these in. So if y'all have questions, stuff like that, I can come on and just talk. And I can talk with my hands all the time too. Yeah, be careful with that overplanting, Wilbur. Be prepared to take some stuff out. Good, Nick. That's the goal is you're doing exactly what my vision was is you figure out, okay, this is when Ben's planting. How much later do I need to do it? Unfortunately, if you're a lot farther south, it's kind of tough because you're like, oh, well, I should have done it before, but that's the best I can do. I can't work magic really. I can do some magic, but not a lot. The Haas weed mat. What is that? Let me look it up real quick. The lazy garden ground cover. Is that what you're referring to? Okay. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about black plastic is it eliminates nutrients from getting into the ground. Well, Nicole, you probably already have shades set up and all that stuff. You just, the trick with fall. So the trick for you planting in fall, I got stung in the ear by a bee earlier. It kind of hurts. Um, the trick for you is going to be managing the heat. The trick for me is talking about it on the channel way before people normally have ears to do it. So typically, when people want to plant their garden for fall, it's already cooling off. When in fact, you should already have had your plants in for a month by the time it starts to cool off. So you've got to manage that heat, and that's why I said I don't usually put shade in my garden until I start to plant my fall crops. Which I just got some. I had this company reach out to me and they wanted me to review these lights, which I had been looking at anyways. And I've got to call them because they sent me the lights like at the end of seed starting season. So there's no reason to talk about lights right now, right? We're not starting seeds inside really, but I'll starting my seeds for fall in July. Right around July 4th is when I'll starting my seeds. So that kind of puts it into perspective for you about how early I get ahead of it. All right, last call for questions. Anybody? I appreciate everybody showing up. It's a good turnout today. Um, that sounds pretty cool. I have to read the description on that a little bit better. Yeah, Nicole, when is your? Well, you don't even have a frost. Trying to think how I can figure out. What's the coldest you get in winter, Nicole? Let's do this. So I know a lot of you are probably like, it doesn't matter. She's in Arizona, but just hang in there. We're going to figure it out, and then you can figure it out for yourself when to plant. But any questions? I do need to go out and get into these bees before my son gets home because I'm gonna put him to work in the bees when he gets home. And John, just so you know, every year I get a new kind of weed in my I defeat a weed and I get a new weed in my garden every year, and it's super frustrating. I've grown some carnivorous plants. Okay, Nicole. So in January, my favorite beard product, Viking Revolution, man. Yeah, I've grown. Hold on, I got three things going on in my head. Nicole, when it's 29 degrees, which it can possibly get to, what is the time, typically speaking? And Brian, I have grown Venus flytraps here. I have done that. And I had a Jack in the Pulpit out growing wild in my backyard. And we also have traps growing in the wild here, but it's like highly against the law to even touch them. So we just look at them. Okay, Nicole. So if it's 45 and 29, let's just call it January 15th to be easy. I would start my seeds if I were you. Let's make it difficult. Let's say cabbages, long crop. You know, they say 90 days. I call it 100. So 100 days seed to harvest. Um, and you can be growing it after that easily. It'll easily grow in that time frame. I would start my seed on August 15th, then September 15th, October 1st. I would look into setting up my shade outside. And October 1st, what's your temperature outside? I love a good garden challenge. I went like 4 years with a weed I couldn't identify. Yeah, I've got some pretty stupid weeds too. What up, White Creek, New York? Zones don't matter. You know that. Okay, good. So then I would move that forward by a month, or forward meaning October 1st, I'd start my seed. I would plant, you know what? I would plant my seed out the week of Christmas. I would plant my plant out the week of Christmas if I were you. And then you would grow it. I imagine that 29 degrees does not last very long. So even Thanksgiving, probably. You want to push it. So if you can get somewhere in the 85-ish range, right around 85 with some shade, which you got to remember, though, this time of year is there's not going to be, the sun's not as high. Bye, princess. Have fun in the garden. So you're going to want to have shade around then, but then you can pull it up. So right around Thanksgiving-ish, maybe a little bit earlier, you just have to keep an eye on it. I would get those starter plants out. You would be, because it's difficult in your area, I would say it's safer to have a more a bigger plant to go in the garden. And then if you got any kids in the room, cover your ears. I would feed the shit out of it. As soon as I put it in, I would feed it. I would pump it full of food. And then, you just get it going. So put a nice balanced fertilizer in the beginning. 2 weeks later, come back, hit it with nitrogen. And then another 2 weeks or even a month later, hit it with more nitrogen and just water it and feed it. And you should be able to grab a harvest before it goes. It's going to be a challenge, but you can do it. Shout out to North Cali. I hate doing seed starting schedules for California. Y'all are all over the place, man. Yeah, Eddie, go for it. You don't know unless you try, right? Well, you know what, John? I did that a couple days ago, so you can do the suckers right now, and you should be all right. Nicole, let me know how it works out. Yeah, y'all got. I mean, I did a seed starting chart for Fort Bragg, California, and then I did another seed starting chart for the same city 3 miles away, and it was completely different. I mean, I'm talking about from no frost to absolute freezing. It was totally different. So big change. It's crazy. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming by today. I appreciate it. I'll try and do these a little bit more often if y'all want. You just have to keep your eye open. I can't schedule it because I don't want to be held to a schedule. It's kind of why I do this. I don't want to be held to any kind of schedule more than I have to. Y'all have a good day. Y'all have fun in your gardens. If you've got questions, I will write them down. And then next time I come on, definitely do that. What I'll do is probably anytime I get a rainy day, I'll come on here for sure and do that as long as I'm caught up with other stuff. But as Cindy said, hit that like button. And thank you very much, everybody. Y'all be cool. What I don't know what I just filmed. I just filmed something earlier from Wendell, North Carolina. But y'all be good, and we will see you soon. Bee videos coming out. So if you're into bees, check it out. If not, don't watch them. Just watch the gardening stuff. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to help out who I can. And I hope to see you all on the next one.